And yeah, absolutely devastated. Devastated. It's true. How you doing? Ooh, surgery. I hope it goes well. Hey, Vidya, Arfie Cat, Abe. Man, I swear I start out every day and I'm like, I'm going to just chew up my to-do list. I'm going to end work at a normal time. I fail every day. But I'm going to keep working at it. Yup. Yup, yup, yup. Bad brake pads. Oh wow, Arfie. I got a lot of respect for that because that's the type of work that I would not be good at. I am much more suited to the staying inside my house kind of work. Ah, babysitting job. Well, work's work. No animation for you. Yeah. Really massively overkill bitrate for what is being displayed. Mr. Bear, why are you Mr. Bark? What's going on here? I'm gonna need you to just stop that, please. Oh, I'm really happy with my new router, but I'm not very happy with my new ping. I really don't know where to begin with figuring out what the hell the problem is. I got the Deco BE63. It's the TP-Link mesh stuff, Wi-Fi 7. So I got the set of two. So really, it's two routers. No, no, it does not look like a dead spider. Um, I think that the one I got is quite good. Um, and we really needed the mesh approach because this place has these thick plaster walls that destroy Wi-Fi. I've actually been suffering with just shit Wi-Fi for years here for no reason. So now we have two Wi-Fi routers for both halves of this place. Wired backhaul between them. So the one that's connected to the modem is the main, and then the one in Nakomi's office is the extension, essentially. Well, if anything, there should be less latency. The way that it was set up before was that we had the router in Nakomi's office, and then we were running we ran Ethernet through the wall back to the modem is over here in my office. So we ran Ethernet from the modem to the router in her office. So this is like across the house. And then we ran a line back from the router to my switch in here, which then distributed to everything else. My ping with that setup was average of 10. Now, this is my like internet ping. I have essentially I have an app called Speed Test Tracker that runs a speed test every 2 hours, and then I'm just basically tracking that data. And when I switched routers, I saw like I was finally able to take full advantage of my download speed because the whole network is 2.5 gigabits per second now. Um, so uh, the internet is now, it bumped up a little bit. It's like over a gigabit per second now. Whereas normally on the old 1 gigabit per second network, it would like kind of top off around like 930 to 950, something like that, right? So it's cool to see that go up. No change in the upload because upload is shit on cable. But my ping was an average of like 10 or so. And after I switched over to the new routers, my ping is an average of 20 or so. So it's doubled my ping. Additionally, after the switchover, uh, jitter has gone ape shit. So previously, not very much jitter. Like there would be spikes, but for the most part, pretty stable as far as jitter is concerned. Uh, Not anymore. Now it's jitter town, jitter all the time. Just a lot of jitter, and I don't know why. Well, the thing is, the server is performing the test, and the server is not on Wi-Fi. This is wired. So the wired setup here is the server. There's a switch, a 2.5 gigabits per second switch connected directly to the router, which is also 2.5 gigabits per second. And then the server is connected to that switch. So it is not wireless, and it's a pretty direct connection. That's what really has me confused. It's like this should just be a completely baller connection. But I did change a number of things all at once. So, like, I'm using a different cable for connecting the modem to the router because obviously I didn't need a huge run anymore across the house. It's just a short cable, it's like a 5 footer between the modem and the router. Could be that the cables are shit. I could try switching that out, but they shouldn't be shit. Brand new. But you never know. Yeah, I it's just weird and I don't even know where to begin with like trying to troubleshoot what the cause of this would be. Ah, I miss fiber. I used to have gigabit symmetrical back in Phoenix, and then we moved. I went back into cable hell. Wow, Kiki. That is a crazy setup. I do still have the old router, yeah. So I could try that. I am loath to switch over, but I mean it's worth testing for sure. The only trouble is I would need to like be running the test for a while to really get a good result, and it would really bring down the house, so to speak. Um, what I had in Phoenix was CenturyLink fiber, And to be honest, I'm forgetting the details of how it worked. I think it was weird. I think it used, fuck, what did it do? I think it was really strange. Like maybe it took two coax inputs, something like that. Um, well, yeah, true, RFE. I was thinking I would want to just isolate them completely out of the network to have like a clean test, but you're not wrong. I mean, the thing I would be testing would be like unaffected by the other router. So I think. Hmm. Well, the router that I just replaced is that one that I got, but it wasn't shitty. It was just, yeah. You're right. You're reminding me now that there was a few quirks about it. It had it was the kind of fiber that people say is stupid, where it has to like auth every packet, and it's a really narrow slice of routers, at least at that time, that could handle that. Um, it was not a good time. I don't remember like why it was such a pain in the ass exactly. I mean, that thing we just talked about obviously was a pain in the ass, but it made me feel like fiber was like just not viable because it was like such a narrow slice of devices that would actually work in the situation. But there was also so I had a router before that one, and I could only get half speed. It was impossible to get the full speed of fiber. It was weird. There's just a lot of stuff that was like bizarre and complicated. But end of the day, I did end up with working symmetrical gigabit per second fiber, and it was great. Um, so I got over the hurdles, one way or the other, by hook or by crook. I like that phrase. Deliberately predatory providership. I'll say I felt like I had a surprisingly good experience with CenturyLink. My previous experience with CenturyLink before fiber was 56K. And I remember it being a bad experience. Um, I hated that company. Although, actually, that might have been Q West, which I think got bought by CenturyLink. So it might have been Q West that actually sucked ass, or Quest, or whatever. I don't remember what they were called exactly. Um, but yeah, I didn't have a bad experience with CenturyLink. Um, the price was good. It was like $70 a month, and it wasn't the usual stupid bullshit of like, this is your introductory price, and then it goes up by three times at the end of the year, or whatever the shit that cable does, where they're like, it's only $99 a month for the first 3 months, and then it goes up to $150 a month, and then we're going to raise it by $10 every arbitrary amount of time. Whenever we feel like the last quarter didn't look great, 10 more bucks. Um, so I think that CenturyLink, at least at the time, was in the category of fiber where you know how some fiber companies they just do like it's a fucking great price and the internet is way better, and it's just like it's like too good to be true, is what a lot of the fiber stuff looked like. Although I will say, in my recent shopping around while trying to like shopping for houses and stuff like that, I have found that it does seem that the providers are now starting to do essentially cable behavior. They have plans. The plans are like, it's cheap for the first 3 months, you know. So that doesn't make me happy. And of course, all that's gonna get dramatically worse because uh, the corporate ghouls in charge right now are removing all of the rules. What do we not have now? I guess we don't have net neutrality anymore. They got rid of the broadband equality stuff or whatever. Just all of the things that were like protecting us from that stuff are being removed or are gone. I don't know. I don't think we need to be fair. I don't really see any reason to be fair. Nor do we have to hand it to them or whatever, any other sort of thing. Um, yeah. No, I say be cruel to systems and corporations. Why not? I think that's my baseline policy at all times. I don't think it's a false statement. I don't like that one. Can we delete that one, Craig? I don't like that one. Arfie Cat, thank you for 9 months. I hate that one every time I hear it. A federal appeals court struck down the Federal Communications Commission's net neutrality rules, ending a 20-year push to regulate internet service providers like a public utility. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit of Cincinnati on Thursday ruled on Thursday, somewhere around January 3rd, 2025, that the FCC did not have legal authority to reinstate the landmark net neutrality rules. First introduced in 2015, repealed 2 years later. And then in 2024, the FCC reinstated net neutrality when it voted to reclassify broadband as a public utility. Under the Communications Act of 1934, such public utility services are subject to government regulation. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now it's not that it was a false statement, it's that the rules were never enforced. I'm not going to be playing a game. I'm just doing a check-in quick rhyme. I know, but I think you're just kind of hitting me with pedantry here, food. I was referring to the fact that it has been struck entirely down. So, whether you think it was enforced or not, whether you think it mattered or not, it was a thing that was being worked towards, and it is not being worked towards anymore and is gone. That was my point. Yes, yes, I know. I don't I don't know what side you're on with stuff, man. Like it would be a good thing to have. It's a bad thing that we don't have it. Is really kind of all of my feelings about it. Okay, then let's just agree on that part of it. Yeah, have a good one, Quick Rhyme. Good to see you. Hmm.
Buddy, earlier you drove to an island of men and let them fuck you.
Hey, Twee, thank you for 139 months. Craig, I like that one. We keep that one. What you have me doing now is I am going through to see what amount of enforcement ever occurred. Net neutrality is a thing that has been fraught, and it's always been a nightmare. It's never been 100% fully implemented, but I also don't think that it was completely pointless either. It seems like there is or was some level of enforcement here and there, and also I think that the thing that is also worth considering is that these things have a pressure creating force, even if they're not explicitly like this thing is being enforced here and this thing is being enforced there. Net neutrality is another one of those things where I feel like it's such a wild thing for people to be like on the wrong side of, because it's pretty cut and dry in terms of if you're against it, you're basically just for telecoms treating you like shit. It's basically all you're for. Uh, just letting them do whatever they want to you. Um, but it's an example of one of those things where it became this partisan fucking thing. And I guess that's when team sports kicked in, where it's like, well, my guys are saying that net neutrality is bad. and then, and then, stuff happened. Like, it's wild. I'm going through a timeline, right? And I'm just like, here's an arbitrary thing I'm picking out of this timeline. December 14th, 2017. Senator Markey announced his plan to undo the FCC's vote to roll back net neutrality. And what's like wild about that to me, just looking at it, right, is like you have this old dude who's announcing this, and who's this announcement for, really? Like a handful of people in the C suites of the telecoms, basically, right? It is not a good thing for any of this dude's constituents. This is a Democrat from Massachusetts in 2017, by the way. It's not good for any of his constituents. It's not good for customers of telecoms. It's not good for any citizen in the country. Zeros, well, not zero, almost zero citizens. Obviously, the people making money, it's good for them. And it's kind of fucking wild that we are not able to like correctly parse this kind of information in this country. It's wild that there's people who are like, yeah, awesome. I really don't understand. Oh well. You sent me down a hole here. Back down my old anger hole. One thing I really liked is that they made them do those internet facts things. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? They're kind of like nutrition facts, but for internet. I really, really like that a lot. Um, Particularly in my particular like usage or my use case, because so many of these fucking companies stopped saying what the fucking features are of the service they're fucking providing. Like, you could not find what the upload speed was on plans for a while. They just stopped saying what that was. To a degree that even if you called and asked a person and you said, or you asked, like, hey, what is the upload speed on this plan or whatever? And they would go like, the download, they would just tell you the download speed again, or they would ask you if you were talking about Wi-Fi, and I'm like, I want to know what the fuck I'm paying for. Please tell me what I'm fucking paying for. So I really liked those cards. Oh yeah, if you said something like I stream or I'm a live streamer or something like that, they would think you were talking about Netflix, and they would be like, "Oh yeah, we support Netflix. You can totally do Netflix on our internet." Yeah, I mean, basically from digging through this, there was some enforcement and so on. It was never 100%. It was never what was fully intended, especially because of the fact that it was going through this um, Democrat Republican tug of war. So it would be on and then it would be off, and then it would come back and then it would go away, and then it would be reinstated again, and then it would be killed again. So I don't know food. I haven't like I've looked through a timeline. It has refreshed my memory on some things, but I can promise you I did not memorize the dates and times. I can tell you that there are gaps between when things happen. It's not immediately like it's reinstated and then the next day the court killed it. There's a window of time. So things may have happened within the window of time. It doesn't have that level of detail here.
What happened?
Work.
Hmm?
Work.
Okay. Mm.
But I can go ahead and wrap things up.
I was gonna feed the dogs.
Alrighty. That was really confusing because I looked away and I really thought you were going to kiss my hand. And then I thought you licked my hand. It was Bun the whole time.
Oh, that was really good.
I kissed her hand and then she tricked me.
What? You gotta kiss on the hand.
Yeah.
Did you think that was my nose too? How cold and wet it was.
I didn't really have that level of distinction in what I was feeling. For the most part, I just felt a lick. I think even the the broadband nutrition facts say up to on them, but there really isn't. There's nobody minding the store, right? I'm surprised that they still have those because there's more nothing now on that front than there's ever been before. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been on and off and on and off, but it is gutted now. For as much as I complain about my cable company, speed wise, I am technically getting what they say I'm supposed to get, even with the up to. I get a little bit over a gigabit per second, and I get almost exactly 40 megabits per second upload. The problem is that the quality of the connection is ass. That's the thing with cable that I don't think is really a thing on fiber. On cable, you have these fucking neighborhood nodes and then like regional nodes and all this other shit. And the actual quality of the connection is ass. It's ass. Yeah, I think that it really was strained during the pandemic when there was a lot more remote going on and then everybody was trying to do video meetings from home and found out, oh holy fuck, what's upload? Because I don't seem to have it. A lot of people learned that they need to care about upload suddenly, which I was really glad for because one of the things that always really brought me down with my battles against the internet companies is the fact that I'm definitely in the like very small minority of users that actually gives a shit about having uh upload, you know. Your average consumer wants internet, but they don't really know what the numbers mean. They certainly don't probably I mean, I think most people just think the internet is entirely download, and they don't have any concept that there's upload or how that matters or anything. You know what I mean? So from like a consumer pressure perspective, it doesn't feel great to know that you have so few people on your team. Probably that. I don't know. I mean, again, we're just saying shit here. FDX tech. That sounds like something we'll never see. I mean, we aren't even able to get fiber. Full duplex DOCSIS 3.1, symmetrical streaming and increased upload speeds, 10 gigabits per second, symmetrical. Okay. Well, the publication date of that was 2017. When will we get FDX cable? Oh, DOCSIS 4.0, they're calling it. When will we get DOCSIS 4.0? DOCSIS 4.0 deployment schedule delayed again. Spectrum. They won't finish upgrading their network till 2027. Blah, blah, blah. And when they say upgrading their network, like, how available are they talking? I don't know, man. I don't know. DOCSIS 4.0 ramp up is underway. Look, man, I just don't trust cable companies. But yeah, I mean, if this happens, it'd be good. Better access, higher speeds for more people is always a good thing. I just have a sort of deep distrust. deep distrust. Well, 7 months ago, someone claimed in Ohio to be offered 10 gigabits per second. Apparently in Marysville, Ohio, near to Columbus. Aside from the typical push for bundles, I got a $52 per month offer for 600 megabits per second symmetrical internet service called Spectrum Internet Prem. They are providing a modem for free, blah, 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 blah. blah. A lot of people saying D4 isn't starting until after high split has been completed. Sound scamming. DOCSIS 4 doesn't leave room for their video channels, so Spectrum is currently working on evolving their network to high split. Yada, yada, yada. Thing is, we live in the boondocks, so I guess after we move, if we don't manage to find some place that has fiber that I want, maybe cable will reel me back in with 10 gigabit per second symmetrical. Fucking cable. Someone said 10,000 megabits per second down and 35 mega upload. I think they're just joking, obviously, because lots of other people are talking about symmetrical. I mean, I'm not trying to be doomer, punks. I just like I have had bad experiences, and it's not really doomer. I'm not a I don't know. Oh, okay. Sorry. I did that thing I do where I glance at chat and I think everyone's talking to me at all times. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I do this all the time. I'm trying to figure out if I can even find. I don't know. I'm not finding anything that really clarifies it in Ohio. Spectrum. I guess I didn't search for Spectrum specifically. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to find good info here, but it seems like Spectrum is going to complete their high split, which I just learned about, sometime next year or the year after. And then, according to some people, they're saying this will improve DOCSIS 3.1 as well because it'll enable, I guess it'll enable symmetrical for that too, because that was part of the specification. But it just wasn't deployed because of other issues in the networks, which is what the high split thing is supposed to resolve. Well, I guess if this happens, it'll make the whole fiber problem kind of a moot thing. But I don't know. I'm curious what pricing would be like. I'm curious if this would resolve the issues. I mean, with that amount of overhead, I mean, even a gig symmetrical with that amount of overhead, I shouldn't have the upload problems that I've had because that was always like when you have 30 or 40 megabits per second up and you can only feasibly use like maybe 6 or 7, then you don't really have 30 or 40 up. But if you have a gigabit per second symmetrical, then I guess it's not a problem, or probably wouldn't be a problem just because you have all that overhead. Well, you see, that's where I start. That's it's it is feasible. It's been made infeasible. That's where it pisses me off. We've like paid for a full fiber network across the nation a couple of times that we didn't get, and then a lot of the problem is this local lobbying bullshit uh, that just prevents it. Like there's a co-op that provides fiber uh, near me, and their whole spread, they have a map that shows like where their service is available, and it's really irritating to me to see that it covers cornfields and bean fields and like houses that are 10 miles apart. But then when it gets to where there's even a little metro area, there's a big hole because that's Spectrum territory, you know, like it's a gang. What's even a little extra irritating about that is that it does snake into the metro area because the businesses want the fucking fiber. They want the fiber speeds. So the businesses get to have it, but not the residents because Spectrum presumably paid somebody, lobbied somebody, or whatever. Oh, that's very annoying, Omni. That is super annoying. Yeah. That's definitely how it is now, Grinder, for sure. I'm referring to basically very old news. Like we're definitely past the point of getting that to happen again. So kind of is what it is. Anywho, it's quite late, so I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out. I appreciate you. Sorry about my weird, shitty schedule, but yeah, no. um, yeah. Have a good one. Be well. I will see you next time.